Hi, Sim Update number 6 was released today, bringing us to version 1.20.6.0. The release notes are linked in the description of this video. This update addresses a wide range of issues in the sim. They cover stability, navigation, weather, VR, activities, planes, avionics, VFR map, world visual issues, UI issues, peripheral fixes, and finally, SDK issues. I think this represents the largest number of single changes to the sim for any of the updates. The release notes are pretty massive, as you can see, cover just about every aspect of the sim. Prior to getting the update, I ensured my store apps were all current and my Windows updates were all current. That took a few hours and I did it all last night. I ensured my community folder was empty. You can just rename it if you like before doing the update. The developers have indicated that anything in the community folder could be wiped out during this update. You can alternatively use an add-on linker or manager to deal with your community folder. I did a video on an excellent one, and that's linked in the description. At exactly 8 a.m. Pacific time, I launched the MS Store application and checked for updates, and it had nothing available. Folks in the forums were reporting that the update was indeed ready to go and they were downloading it, so I ran the sim up to see if it would patch that way. It had a patch, so I let that patch apply, and then I noticed that I had a notification in the sim that said to check the content manager. So I did that and applied 2 small patches to the UK and USA World updates. I checked the version number and I was still on the previous version, so I exited the sim and ran the store app again, which indicated no patch was available. At that point I rebooted, and once Windows was back I ran the store app up, and now it had a patch ready, so I let that patch run and then launched the sim. The sim then indicated it had a larger patch ready and I let that run as well. After all patching was complete, I verified I was running the patched version of the sim and then rebooted once again just for safety. I did not change the properties of the Flight Simulator exe file this time around or make any other performance changes, so I have a clean look at the updates. Once back in the sim, I wanted to do an initial performance check, so I set up the game bar FPS indicator. The Thames area in London is typically where I'll suffer FPS losses the most, so I checked that area. My FPS was consistent with what I was getting prior to the patch at about 30 FPS. Following this, I checked to see if they had fixed the recently used list for the departure locations on the world map, and indeed they did. I also noticed that they fixed the toolbar menu indicator at the top of the screen so that it disappears properly once again. Checking the tooltips and the cockpit controls, they still have not restored the percentage indicators on the tooltips, so that's kind of disappointing. They did fix the fuel shutoff on the 172 finally, so that's nice. As a final quick test before posting this video, I ran the pattern at my local airport Kilo Victor November Yankee to make sure the FPS was still good and everything looked good there. They changed the terrain level of detail, so now it has double the maximum value to 400. 200 was the previous maximum.
The numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board.
Just for grins, I set it to 400 for a test, and I lost about 10 FPS as a result, but it's certainly a big improvement for the visuals. One last item I checked was the ATC call letters that were working on the aircraft but were not being retained in the UI, and that's fixed now as well. The number of fixes in this update are enormous, and I'll make a follow-up video after I've had time to do some more in-depth testing. In conclusion, the patch went pretty smoothly for me. I'd love to hear how it went for you in the comments here. Okay, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, please hit like, as that really helps folks find it. And until the next video, take care.